It happens to the best of us. You're going along, having a perfectly good day, and then something happens and that shifts your mood, and suddenly you are in the most foul mood ever, and everything in your day seems to be going wrong. We all have bad days sometimes, and today I am going to share with you some of my best tricks for helping you to get out of a bad mood so you can get back in control of your day and get back to feeling happy fast. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a life coach and law of attraction teacher, and you have found my YouTube channel where I upload 2 new videos for you guys each and every week, all about the art of creating your best life ever. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on anything, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell button just to make sure you get those notifications pop up when things go live. So it happens to everybody. We all occasionally find something in our day that puts us in, quote unquote, in a bad mood. And today I just want to talk a little bit about how this comes to happen so that we can understand the process and therefore start to get control back so we're not controlled by this bad, quote unquote, bad mood. And unfortunately, I have bad news for you guys. This isn't about blaming anyone. It isn't about getting anyone to act the way we want them to. It isn't about, traffic always going exactly our way. It isn't about the train never being late. It is not about any of that stuff, okay? A bad mood, really, and this is the part you're gonna hate, it is a choice. It is a choice. You are choosing to allow something into your bubble. You are choosing to allow something to come in and make you, quote unquote, quote, make you feel bad. So I want to talk a bit about that so that we can remember our power. And when you can come back to your power, that is when you get control back and can snap out of your bad mood. So basically what happens when people get into a bad mood is something usually like they're getting up for work in the morning and they find out they're out of coffee, or that, the cat threw up in the middle of the night, or the trains aren't running this morning, or something like that. Something unexpected happens in your morning routine. And this puts you, quote unquote, puts you in a bad mood. And then you go through the rest of the day with this like dark rain cloud of energy over your head. And then everything seems to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like people are rude to you. There was a traffic jam, you dropped your coffee, whatever, something else bad happened to you, and you just feel like all these bad things are piling up on top of each other. And in a way, they probably are. That is because if you are putting your energy and attention on something terrible, and you're carrying this terrible energy around with you, then you kind of become a match for it. So it isn't really a surprise that more things keep popping up that are not helping you to feel better. But the fundamental problem with this, as I touched on already in the beginning, is that you are allowing your external world to dictate your internal world. As soon as you do that, you have lost control over your emotional state. The thing is, we have all been taught to believe this since we were little kids. We have been taught not to hurt somebody's feelings. We have taught that, yeah, something can happen to us and then we'll feel bad. We've been taught that our emotions have to be dictated by the things around us. But that actually isn't true at all. The only thing that dictates your emotions are your thoughts. And you always have control over your thoughts. I really wish I could go back in time and tell my 10-year-old self this, because I think this would have helped a lot of things. But I definitely was raised to believe that, when good things happen, you get to feel good. And then when bad things happen, you have to feel bad. And this really starts to feel like a sentence after a certain amount of time, because you really feel out of control over your own happiness. You are out of control over your own happiness. If you are letting everything outside of you determine how you feel, you never have control over how you feel. Instead, you run around through your everyday life trying to control the outside world so that you can feel better. You try to control what your partner says or does so you can feel better. You try to control your job situation so that you can feel better. You try to control your family situation so you can feel better. And none of that stuff works. We can never control anybody, you guys. You can try, you can waste so much time, you can get really smart, you can try all the things, and you can still never control anyone. Nor can you control outside circumstances, which would include things like the weather or your cat throwing up or, you know, whatever happening, someone getting sick. All these things you cannot control. You cannot control, so you should not let them dictate the way you feel, because you will end up feeling like crap most of the time if you do that. So I have to start out by reminding you of this, reminding you that emotions come from the inside, because that is how we start to get control back and can start to switch back into a quote unquote good mood. It's really funny how humans have to polarize everything, good and bad, black and white. It's not really like that. We can think of things that's like pleasurable and less pleasurable, but making everything so binary is really complicated. It's really complicated. Okay, so once you're in the bad mood and maybe you start to remember, oh yes, okay, the bad mood is actually caused by me. I am agreeing to something. I have let something into my happiness bubble. I have let my external circumstances dictate the way I feel. You have to acknowledge that first. If you can get enough space and stop being in the reactionary, angry, upset mode, you can get a little space and remember that you're the one driving the truck, you're the one steering the car. We can get back control, but you just need to give it a minute and like kind of release, right? You need to get out of feeling like you have to get upset. When you're in that have to get upset, like you cannot control it, it's going to take a little time for you to like step back and get distance. You need a little distance. You need a little space. And when you have that little space, then you can start to get curious. You can start to get curious about the story you're telling yourself, because there is a story. You are making something mean something about you, and that is why you feel bad. That is the real trick to it, right? So you are feeling bad because the alarm didn't go off, so now I'm late for work. Now my boss is gonna hate me, and I'm not an incompetent employee, and nobody will know it, and then that's what feels bad. So you're making this story of like, I'm being late for work, therefore my boss will think I'm incompetent. You're making up this story, and that makes you feel bad. So that is the real problem, right? That is the issue. It isn't that you were late. It isn't your boss's fault. It is you creating and inventing this whole story in your head. So what do you need to do in order to see a different story? So this is just a challenge you can issue to yourself at any time. If this story wasn't true, so first you have to find the story, and then ask yourself, if this story wasn't true, what else could be true? Could it be true that there was a massive power outage and my boss will also be late because their alarm also didn't go off? Could it be true that your boyfriend's really got stuck in a meeting and forgot to text you because something crazy happened at work? Could that be true? Could there be another reason? Could this person have said something to you that you took really hurtfully? Could it actually mean nothing about you? Could it just be that they were talking fast and they were distracted and they weren't thinking about the bigger picture? Could it be anything else? Just challenge yourself. Could it be anything else? Get creative, because the answer is it always could be something else. And I really want to challenge you guys to find a new story. Find a new story that doesn't hurt, right? I want you to find and choose a story that doesn't hurt you. Because when you can do that, that is when you're out of the bad mood. That is when you don't have to carry it around with you. That's when you don't have to feel victimized. That's why you don't have to feel like something personally happened to make you feel terrible. Because that's never what happens. People, you know, do things we don't like all the time, but it is not usually about making us feel terrible. It's about all of their stuff. Their own weird motivations, whatever those motivations might be. It isn't about you. It probably never was about you. And all that other stuff, the cat throwing up, the trains being late, the rainy weather, whatever it is, that has nothing to do with you. Nothing at all. And neither did most things. I've been doing this self-work for a few years now, and I still fall into the quote-unquote bad mood from time to time. I'm not a perfect person. I do not have this channel because I claim to be perfect. I'm sharing this stuff with you guys because it has helped me so much. but I'm a work in progress and I need to come back to these reminders regularly, and I'm sure you will need to come back to this reminder regularly too. It takes a long time to reprogram ourselves out of the old negative patterns and negative behavior loops that we've created over a lifetime. But be loving with yourself. Don't expect perfection. Just come back to this idea, because this idea can give you so much ease and so much more room for joy and love in your life. And really, at the end of the day, love is the only thing that is important. And the more you can love yourself and love the people around you, the better off your life will be. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and spending part of your busy week here watching my videos. I appreciate you so, so much. If you liked this video, please do me a favor and give it a like. And if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, please pass it along to them. I would love your help in expanding this community here on YouTube. If you want to learn more about me, come on over to my site. I have a freer breakthrough workbook for you guys to download over there. It is totally free and it'll help you bust through whatever issues you happen to be facing in your life right now. It is a wonderful tool if you are not quite ready to go all in with a coach. Come on over and get the worksheet. It'll start you on your journey. Thank you guys again for being here. I'll be back soon in the next video. So until then, I'm wishing you a marvelous week, my darlings. And just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.